Betty Ford's life in the political spotlight started quickly after her marriage to Gerald Ford, who was elected to Congress 2 weeks after their wedding. As First Lady, she developed her own persona beyond the White House and was known for speaking out on abortion rights and women in the workplace. Also the mother of 4 children, she was considered strong, active, and most of all, candid.
It has been the outgrowth of my own health that has made it possible for me to go ahead and, in my way, share what I learned with others.
Before 1974, it was almost unheard of for a First Lady to publicly mention personal problems. In the first year of her husband's presidency, she announced she had breast cancer and would undergo a mastectomy. But it is the Betty Ford Center for Substance Abuse that will be her greatest legacy.
I think she educated a generation that needed education, that needed support in how to deal with these problems.
Mrs. Ford disclosed publicly that she had for years abused alcohol and had become dependent on prescription drugs, the first major political figure to openly address a problem that plagued millions.
It has been from the very first day a place for any man or woman who wanted help.
It made it unnecessary to hide the reality of substance abuse. And I think that was a contribution that Betty Ford made.
Mrs. Ford kept largely out of the public eye in her latter years. Most Americans saw her for the first time in more than a decade at the funeral and burial of her husband. It was a 4-day period of national mourning, and although she looked fragile, she never wavered. And the treatment center she helped create will be a memorial for generations to come. In Washington, I'm Samantha Hayes.